So we've been talking a lot about kinds of power, and we've talked a lot about different niggas' birthdays over my last few videos, and especially since I've been out for a while, I'm getting ready to go ham over this. Now there are several chapters. I mean, several different authors. I mean, several different themes and topics. This shit is dope. I am so glad. So glad. I mean, it's shit like this, you know what I'm saying, that makes me happy as fuck that I ever created a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, nigga, I'm about to get them books or whatever, nigga, that shit gets me charged. Fucking charged, man. I'm happy as fuck to help people, man. Because it's like helping myself. You know what I mean? And as I know I'm probably misquoting, and we might get to it eventually, but as one it quotes somebody as saying, I mean, if we can each address and integrate our own personal shadows, it may help the collective shadows that our groups and our nations hold. You know what I'm saying? Our quote unquote racial, man, whatever. You feel me? I'm just saying, if we each can address our own personal shadow, ultimately it would have no choice. It has to affect the collective, right? But it starts with the shadow, and even understanding that shit, man. So subtle power. We finished on subtle power. This is the most extreme form of, like, I can't find no better way to simplify all of this pimping for you. And again, if you've watched my channel, you can go back on any of my shit, man. Like, hell, I got a video called Big Dick Energy. You know what I'm saying? So my point of this, nigga, clearly my shadow has been going, goddamn it, crazy. My shadow loves this fucking channel. Loves me doing that. That's why I'm trying to sit back, chill. As you can see, like, I'm sipping. I ain't taking shots. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily trying to put my shadow in the back seat. Who knows, nigga? We might get a little wild and crazy as we had this conversation. But I usually say I'm not going to take it long. Who knows what happens? You know what I mean? You see what ends up happening, bro. But, yeah, man. It's as simple as that. Everybody has a shadow, or does a shadow have a person? You know what I mean? Does every shadow have a person? Or does every shadow have us? However the fuck I choose to title that shit, because I've been drinking, so you know what I mean? I had a title in mind, but as of now, nigga, sit back, enjoy this little intro, man. One of the things that really got me, again, I was an avid follower of Brother Panic. I watched so many hours of his shit for so many months, man. I'm telling you, nigga. If they say, like, what, 10,000 hours, you a vet or some shit, nigga, I'm goddamn close. It makes you a pro, something like that. I'm goddamn close, man. But I watched a lot of shit. I had the privilege. This nigga came to my city, met me, and I think this was the last fucking tour he did in the Ville before he passed away. Came in here, swooped in here on some Ali shit, and got to talking about Muhammad Ali and this and that, man. I'm here to tell you, nigga. OZ, Boomaye. But again, man, the shadow work. This is Meeting the Shadow, the Hidden Power of the Dark Side of Human Nature. Edited by Connie Zweig and Jeremiah Abrams. Edited because on the front of this book, it says contributors: C.G. Jung, Robert Bly, Joseph Campbell, Harville Hendricks, Maggie Scarf, John Bradshaw, James Hillman. I got several James Hillman books. These are all authors that you can Google, Amazon, search, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? But all authors. I'm gonna start again because I should have said that first. But on the front of the book, it shows you all these authors, and there's many more that contributed to the different articles, different sections of this shadow, of Meeting the Shadow. So again, we have C.G. Jung, which is Carl Jung, if you don't know, Robert Bly, Joseph Campbell, Harville Hendricks, Maggie Scarf, John Bradshaw, James Hillman, Susan Griffin, Ken Wilber, Kim Chernin, which I have a book. It kind of looks like this, but I actually have, I got some Kim Chernin shit. Anyways, point is, M. Scott Peck, John A. Sanford, I got him, Sam Keene, Rollo May. Found that nigga on Audible. Rollo May is amazing. Nathaniel Brandon, Mary Louise von Franz, Christine Downing, Larry Dawsey, Daniel J. Levinson, Audrey Lord, W. Bro Joy, Brugh, W. Brugh, Michael Ventura, Marcia Sanatar, Dina Metzger, Robert J. Lifton, Hal Stone, Ernest Becker, Adolf Guggenbuhl-Krog, and more. And again, I'm reading all of them out. I hate to bore some of you niggas, but that's my way of giving people flowers. You know, like what was your boy? Man, I hate to say it, man. Everybody thought this nigga, and I seen him, man, big nigga. Everybody thought he was dead, and then now Brother Panic's fucking dead, and it's like, well, ain't this a bitch? But Bobby Hemmett, you know what I mean? He had the this or that and whatever else, and now something fucking happened to Brother Panic. Ain't that a bitch? But anyways, I digress. But he would say all these names and be like, I say. So it's just my way of giving them flowers. But they all do deserve their respect for creating this big, thick ass book. And again, it's got different sections. So me as a researcher, as I've always said, nigga, you do not have to read. I don't feel like any book outside of novels and stories are truly meant to be read or have to be read, however you want to phrase that, but they got to be read front to back, start to end. You know what I mean? That's kind of, I'm just saying, if certain sections, again, just like college, man, I've got some of these books, but anyway, just like in college, dude, when you doing research or you got homework, or just I'm saying, this section over here, we do this, we do that, but hardly ever do we do the entire fucking chapter. And then sometimes we skip around, you know what I mean? Especially like, anyways, but you get the point though. You ain't got to do all that shit. But this book is invaluable. Nigga, I'm not even sure, like I said, now that my mind's all on one, what I might exactly title the motherfucking video, because it could be like shadow work. Nah, this new age pimping, this is split personality work. Shadow work, don't kid yourself. Split personality work. It's split personality work, man. Let's get into the book. Again, like I said, I always say I'm not trying to hold you up long, but let's get into the book, man. I couldn't get past the prologue, which is why I mentioned in Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett. Man. I have no idea why my motherfucking eyes just started itching. That is crazy. Like right in the corner of my eyes, it just suddenly started itching when I said that. Look, hitching. Hey, 'tis the spirits, man. We be in it, bro. It's all love. But again, man, I couldn't get past the fucking prologue, dog. I had started this video, stopped it, started, and I just kind of was reading. I was like, hold on, man, I had to go back and start highlighting all kind of shit. And I already got plenty of shit highlighted, and you know what I mean? Bookmarks here, this or that here. Well, I got plenty of sections to go to, but let's just talk about the prologue, because again, man, to go next level with it, for a lot of us that have already been on this path and already kind of been doing shit and this or whatever else, we consider ourselves so spiritual. When, like I said, this shit could really be simplified to just the shadow, aka the split personality. But we consider ourselves so spiritual. You go down many different paths, and there's gods and goddesses and deities and energies, all of this type of shit, right? We could simplify a lot of things by just saying it's the shadow pimping at hand. It is shadow pimping at work. Now, I'm not going to get into some of the energy shit. I'm not saying some of that shit ain't warranted, but a lot of what we go through and whatever else, man, it's this shadow shit. Subtle power. A lot of what we go through. And there's so many different scenarios. So I'm going to read the prologue. But before I do that, again, for educational purposes and all of that shit, I want to read some of the table of contents, right? Of course, we got the prologue. Then there's an introduction by both of the editors. But part one, what is the shadow? And then there's several of those, shall I say. Well, fuck it. There's 7 different, I guess, sub-chapters. But what is the shadow? You've got 7 different authors, 7 different perspectives of people talking about that shit, and it takes you down a path. Then part 2, shadow making. Forming the disowned self in the family, right? Shadow making. Forming the disowned self in the making. Now, there's 4 of these. There's an introduction. Each little chapter gives you an introduction to the little, mini introduction to the chapter, like why are we going down this path. But Harville Hendrix is here, creating the self. A name I didn't mention, Robert M. Stein, rejection and betrayal. Kim Chernin, the underside of the mother-daughter relationship. The underside of the mother-daughter relationship. And then John A. Sanford, parenting and your child's shadow. So you have a shadow, your child has a shadow. Do me say, oh, motherfucker, you getting on my nerves, or this or whatever else. I mean, again, even why some people fear kids, because the kids are going to fuck with your shadow. They're not fucking with you, but they are going to fuck with your shadow, and your shadow is you, and we have a hard time admitting that. Again, like I said, the power shit is cool. Different kinds of power. It's good to be aware of what the fuck is at play and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fearsomeness is not authority, but a fearsomeness can come with authority. Just the fact that you have the title or the authority, it can convey a certain air of fearsomeness. No, nigga, I won't fire you, but I do have the ability to. You see what I'm saying? And even for some of the lower niggas, like the leads and shit that I had to train and whatnot, it was like, look, you can't hire or fire anybody, but your opinion or your, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, you the little eyes in the sky, nigga. You the eyes on the field. You the walking camera, so to speak. So what you say happen holds a lot of weight. Now, I will consider, and I will listen, but the leads, so I'm just saying, which in turn carries fearsomeness. You have indirect power, which leads to direct power. So, nigga, you have power. Just think about that. But point being, you know what I mean, the shadows and what's at play in the shadow. And again, the subtle power that you might not know about. So what's more direct to the pimping than the unconscious that's doing the pimping? See, the very nature of the unconscious is that it cannot be conscious, which means you cannot know, or while a lot of people will, deny that they on some hoe shit, you cannot know that you on some hoe shit. You are being guided, being directed, being driven by something. And you know what I'm saying? The difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path is some niggas believe they can be divine, or the divine is within themselves, aka they are divine. They can control, contain, and have power. Versus other niggas who believe, in gods and deities and energies that have power, that as long as they devote themselves to that power and they do what they do, they can, be blessed or be the receivers of gifts from, or boons from these deities or God or whatever power it be. You see what I'm saying? That's the only difference. But if you're receiving gifts from the power that be, or again, the just point is, the left-hand path, right-hand path. But we can supersede all that shit. We can bypass all that shit and just go straight into shadow / split personality work. So, again, like I said, why I brought up a lot of it about Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmings shit, man. A lot of us niggas here, let me just read the prologue. Man. Enough talking. Let me read the prologue. So, this is by Connie Zweig, prologue, according to her. I'm not going to read all of it, but I do have several. I got a lot of shit highlighted, as you can see. There is a lot of shit highlighted, right? So let's just try to get through it as fast as we can. My fascination with the light, my eager optimism concerning outcomes, my implicit trust concerning others, my commitment to meditation and the path of enlightenment. See where we're going with this, folks? My fascination with the light, my eager optimism concerning outcomes, manifesting and shit. You niggas gonna keep talking to that shit, manifesting this and that, all of that. You can get fucked up. Anyways, my implicit trust concerning others, my commitment to meditation and the path of enlightenment, all were no longer a saving grace. Thought that shit was helping you, nigga. Thought it was helping. But a kind of subtle curse, a deeply etched habit of thinking and feeling that seemed to bring me face to face with its opposite, with the heartbreak of failed ideals, with the plague of my own naivete, my own naive. You was being naive, nigga. But see what I mean? That brother Panic, that Bobby Hemmick shit, like I feel like that's why I was driven straight to that shit. There are a lot of niggas out there that do talk a lot of that shit, but me personally, them niggas, when I really started getting on this path or whatever else, you know what I'm saying, it kind of started through some flat earth shit that a coworker was on, and me being in maintenance, these niggas was working the machines. They was, you know, machine operators and shit or whatever else. And I came to fix the machine and caught these niggas in the flat earth shit. These niggas, they said something to me about it, and I was like, well, I never, you know, if you really want, if I, you know, never had to think about it. But in all the trig and all the calculus and all the this or that and whatever else, you know what I'm saying, niggas had to do, again, mechanical engineering, I've never had to take into consideration, I've never even, it's nothing that has been said about the Earth's rotation or the curvature of the Earth when measuring distances over a mile or two, or nothing has ever came up about that shit. So I'm inclined to believe this shit's really actually flat. You know what I mean? If shooters have to take into consideration you know what I mean, as far as a mile, I'm just saying I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not getting into all extra shit. But point is, I'm inclined to believe something's going on. But it really got me going down the path of a lot of shit. And when it came to this spiritual / okay, well, if this is going on and that's going on and this is going on and that's going on and what's the truth here, truth seeking shit, I went straight to it. I was guided, whatever. Maybe it's my algorithms and shit. But it was the brother Panic and Bobby Hemmitt. And them niggas had hours of whatever else to short circuit my motherfucking brain. And again, the shortcuts, the shortcuts is what the fuck I be after or whatever else. I don't mind the motherfucking cheat codes if it works. I'm here to beat the game. We finish and move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for this human shit. I learned my lesson. Let's finish this shit and move on to the next one, nigga. I'll go to the fucking cyborg shit where cyborg shit is normal and then move on to the next one. You know what I mean? I'm used to technology. I'm good with technology. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got no shit in and of myself, but I've been human, been around technology, all this shit. Now we start to get AI, take me to the cyborg realm, nigga. I'm ready to go. I'm just saying, man, who knows what the fuck happens in the next life, but I'm prepared for it. I've learned my motherfucking lesson, all right? So, again, man, what the fuck? Shit just randomly starting to itch. All right, I'm with you. But again, I'm just saying, man, a lot of this shit, we think we so fucking spiritual and you getting all deep and all this enlightenment shit and whatever else, and we could be simplified real easy with some shadow work. So let's just keep going, man. I realized that I had never taken the shadows seriously as I had believed, with the kind of spiritual hubris that a deep, connected inner life would protect me from human suffering, that I could somehow debate the power of the shadow with my metaphysical practice and belief. I had assumed, in effect, that it was managed as I manage my moods or my diet with the discipline of self-control. Yeah, some of you niggas thought you had that shit in so much control, but as I said about the power of resistance on anything, resistance on anything and everything, nigga. For it to exist, it has to resist being anything, something else. Being something else, you have to resist being something else. So there's way more in the subconscious, or there's way more that you blocking to keep this one personality. Now, if enough of that shit builds up its own habits and its own whatever, I mean, again, it could really and truly be looked at as a split personality. And some of these niggas, a lot of niggas have names. They got names, or this is why you get a name when you hit the streets and shit like that or whatever else. You know what I'm talking about? Or your nickname on the block or whatever the fuck else. This is why you end up getting a whole nother name. It's a whole nother nigga. You see what I'm saying? OZ the Wizard. Like, share, subscribe, but don't do none of that shit. Keep running and hiding. Well, at least understand that you got a whole nother nigga, that you are a whole nother nigga under the right circumstances. An entirely different nigga will be dealt with, or will be dealing with the world. Some motherfuckers think they so much in control of this shit. Like she said, thought you was in so much control of this shit. Well, after it done built up enough power, it will come after your ass. I think I'm starting to figure out what it is too, man. Like, shit's trying to stop me from getting this message out because it's powerful like that, nigga. You be afflicted by shit. I don't give a fuck. We gonna do it. We're going to do it. So again, look, my strengths began to feel like weaknesses, standing in the way of my own growth rather than promoting it. At the same time, dormant, unsuspected aptitudes or attitudes, if people who don't know what aptitude is or you don't feel like Googling it, just say attitudes. Unsuspected attitudes awakened and arose rudely towards the surface, disrupting a self-image to which I had become accustomed. A self-image. This is why we read books like The Science of Love. A self-image. This is the Iceman's Inheritance. The Iceman's Inheritance. Again, Dark Psychology 101. People got this self-image, this and whatever. You start appealing to their shadows and this and that. Well, look, won't nobody know? Man, I'm telling you, get away with all kind of, man, look. And then it'd be like, well, I didn't, but you knew you was a motherfucking alcoholic, man. This doesn't, I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, Dark Psychology 101, it's worth reading. This is why a lot of this shit is worth reading. Straight up, man. I'm just trying to be real with you. Straight up. This is why a lot of this shit is worth getting into. You thought it was whatever else. Nigga, it was you. Again, me personally, left-hand path. Nigga, it was you. I can't blame nothing else. I've been too far down this left-hand path. I've been too far on my spirit. I can't blame nobody else at all. Me and how I choose to deal with my shadows. And how, I'm just telling you, man, hell of a book. And it's just the intro. This is just the prologue. And we already, man, look, I told you, I go deep. But I'm going to slide back and just read it all straight up. Hold on. Because I talk too much, man. I be breaking shit down too much. But I just want you to see how the book just fucking flows like that. Excuse me. I need to get some water and stop drinking this like beer. Something's actually going to, you know what I'm saying, help my fucking throat. But anyways, we stayed twisted. I realized that I had never taken the shadow seriously as I had believed. With the kind of spiritual hubris, spiritual fervor, you know what I'm saying, that a deep, committed inner life would protect me, with a kind of spiritual, I don't know how to transform that into something that would be a little less, again, people don't really Google that type of shit. Hubris is one of them big fucking words that'll kind of fuck you up. But I guess it's like maybe a strong attitude. I had believed with a kind of spiritual, enormous attitude that a deep and committed inner life would protect me from human suffering, that I could somehow debate the power of the shadow with my metaphysical practices and beliefs. So again, some of these niggas are all into the burning candles and all that witchery and sorcery and, you know what I'm saying, extra shit, mystical, magical shit. You see what I'm saying? When, nigga, we're just talking psychological shit now. All that metaphysical, extra woke and whatever the fuck. This is what life is pimping to me. Pimping. We talking psychological now. Why you do what you do? Why are you moving the way you moving? Just like the Snickers. That's why they talk about the shadow in the Snickers commercial. Hungry? Why wait? Eat a Snickers. Horny? That's something we really need to talk about. But again, man. Like I said before, man, look. That's why I'm trying to be chill and cool, calm, collected, dog, because as you can clearly see from a lot of my videos, nigga, my shadow loves to go the fuck crazy on you niggas. Loves to get out there. And he sneaks out every now and then, and I'm going to let him go. But still, we're here together on this, right? I just had to read that straight up for you. I had assumed, in effect, that it was managed as I managed my moods or my diet with the discipline of self-control. Still talk shit through that paragraph. But there you go, man. My strengths began to feel like weaknesses, standing in the way of growth rather than promoting it. At the same time, dormant, unsuspected aptitudes awakened and arose rudely towards the surface, disrupting any self-image to which I had become accustomed. Now, this will make you want to go look at your birthday in the book. This is what makes you want to go look at other people. Nigga, is it me? Was it you? Is it this or whatever? I know I ain't wrong. This is why you want motherfuckers to make it make sense, or why you trying to make it make sense yourself. Because you don't want to just, a lot of niggas don't want to actually deal with their motherfucking shadow. It's you. It is you. And it was you the whole motherfucking time. That's why they didn't like Kevin Samuels, nigga. Because he kept pointing at you, nigga. You. Either at this point in life, either you are a high value nigga or you not. My father used to always tell me hindsight is 2020. Give a fuck what happened to this or what it is. At this day and age, this moment right here, right now, you ain't that. So right here, right now, you couldn't get that. And it would take this amount of whatever for you to even get it. And it, man, look, dealing with cold, hard truths, you're going to have to do it. You got to do it. But again, that forces niggas to deal with them in a mature way. As I say, grown ass boys and girls don't mean shit to me. Mature adults, man. Mature adults. Are you a mature adult? I don't give a fuck if you a grown-ass man, grown-ass woman. You a mature adult? Sometimes I'm going to be like, I'm grown as fuck. I'm not a kid. I digress. Back to the book, because we just hitting the prologue, and this is just the intro. I got more for you. Clearly, I got more for you. Let's finish this out. Life seems bankrupt. All that I had known as a fierce reality crumpled like a papier-mâché tiger in the wind. I felt as if I were becoming all that I was not. All that I had worked to develop, strive to create, came undone. The thread of my life pulled, the story unraveled. You know? I could sense then why some people went mad, why some people had torrid love affairs despite a strong marriage bond, why some people with financial security began to steal or hoard or give it all away. And I knew why Ghost said that he had never heard of a crime of which he did not believe himself capable. I was capable of anything. Now, you might not want to take yourself there. You might not want to imagine yourself actually raping some fucking body, because that's one of the worst fucking things they say could happen. You might not want to actually see yourself shooting somebody or whatever else. These might be nightmares that some niggas have. But some people can definitely understand, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm just saying, man. All of this type of shit can be in the shadow, but it ain't just that negative shit. It ain't just the raping and the murdering or whatever else, man. The millionaire could be your shadow. You think you just fine, but there's a millionaire in there. But this nigga is a little harder than you. This nigga is a little more strict than you. This nigga is more guided, more focused than you. And he's pissed. So when you see people, or you quick to call them uppity or them bougie, or you looking at them like this or whatever else, nigga, because that's the shadow, nigga, that you trying to suppress, because all you've ever known and all you ever want to do is extra regular shit. Not extraordinary, extra regular shit, nigga. You just want to be able to go to the fast food joints whenever you know, be smooth and be able to order whatever you want to order, any meal. Extra regular, nigga. You just want to be comfortable. You're not trying to be extraordinary. You're trying to be extra regular. You see what I'm saying? You want your normal 9 to 5. You don't want to be a small business owner. You know, and even at that, you just want to be able to pay your little bills extra regular, nigga. You don't want to go do a normal 9 to 5. You just want to do a little shit extra regular ass, nigga. This is why, again, that high value shit, it only works for certain motherfuckers. Everybody else is an extra regular nigga. He was like top 10%. Everybody else is extra regular niggas. I'm just saying, man, it tends to work like that. That's why, anyways, back to the book, man. You got to know you are capable of anything. Anything. Yes, it could be a lot of negative shit, which is why I don't like to say just shadow. I just say pimping, and everybody is the pimp and the hoe, as we can clearly see. So back to, let me finish this prologue, right? My dark and murderous self had revealed itself too. If just for a moment, rather than condemn it to its death, banishing it once more to the invisible realms. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of read that wrong. I was fluent, but I read that wrong. My dark and murderous self had revealed itself too, even if just for a moment. Rather than condemn it to death, rather than banishing it once more to invisible realms, I have tried slowly and tentatively to redirect my journey in an effort to face it. And after a period of great despair, I'm beginning to feel more inclusive. I'm beginning to feel a more inclusive sense of self. More inclusive sense of self. An expansion of my nature. And a deep connection to humankind. An expansion of my nature and a deeper connection to humankind. All of this happened. Connecting to the shadow self. Trying to gain an understanding of why you're everything you're not, just as much as you're everything you are. Everything you are points directly to everything you not. With the gradual acceptance of the darker impulses within me, I feel a more genuine compassion growing in my soul. I have looked for a symbolic way to give birth to my shadow self so that my outer life would not be torn apart. So that I would not have to discard this creative lifestyle that I love so well. I have discovered that for me, shaping this book has been a way to map the descent and carry a light into the darkness. All right, now that just sums up the prologue. Hopefully I got your attention. OZ the Wizard, like, share, subscribe, but don't do none of that shit and keep running and hiding from your boy. Thank you for watching this long, man. But hopefully I got your attention, but that's just the prologue, and we finna eat. We got a whole lot of book. That was just 2 chapters. We finna eat. Then we flip over to the first introduction. Man, we are about to eat. Introduction to the shadow, disowning the shadow, meeting the shadow, the collective shadow. Then, you know, all this shit, bro. We got a couple things to talk about. But, man, the prologue was deep. That was just her. And that's Connie Zweig, the editor. We got all these authors and whatever else to talk about. We're going to get into it. OZ the Wizard, like, share, subscribe, man. Thank you. I appreciate that shit.